It's the Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive, live from Pumps PB&J. Timeless Roofing, over 25 years of experience, licensed and insured, quality and integrity never get old at TimelessRoofingSC.com. Call for a free quote, 803-853-0021. The Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive, live from Pumps PB&J, is sponsored by Ag South, Aiken Electric Cooperative, Amy Farm, Berry Insurance Agency, CM Tree Service, Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply, Economy Furniture, Edwards Heating and Cooling, Gentry & Sons Fencing, H&R Block, JRA Exterminating, Lake Murray Property, Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative, Mix of Soil, Motorcoat Paint and Body Car Sale, Newberry Hospital, Northland Cable, Pascon Robot Services, Perez Tire, Persimmon Hill Country Club, Price's Garage and Heavy Duty Towing, Pumps PB&J, Ramey Funeral Home, Reclaim Physical Therapy, Saluda Nursing and Rehab Center, Saluda Young Farmers, Senator Billy Garrett, the Charlie Foundation, the Law Office of Nancy T. Jordan, the Ridge Baptist Association of Churches, the South Carolina Department of Education, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Town of Saluda, the Wills Agency Nationwide Insurance, TimelessRoofingSC.com, and Tucker's Lawn Service and Landscape. We're so glad that you tuned in to Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive, live from Pumps PB&J. Call in your comments and questions at the Timeless Roofing call-in line, 864-980-7768. You're watching Saluda Now. Good morning, Saluda Tiger fans. We're glad to be coming here live from Pumps PB&J. We appreciate you joining us here on the Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive. And we're looking forward to a great game tonight as we're going to be taking on the Emerald Vikings. And we want you to participate also in our Pick'em contest. We have the Pick'em board up. This is sponsored by TimelessRoofingSC.com. Win $50. Pick the winning score for the game of the week. One winning score will win $50 gift card, courtesy of TimelessRoofingSC.com. And we're glad to be here at Pumps PB&J, where they're open Wednesday through Saturday, 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, and catering. Visit them at 1150 Batesburg Highway here in Saluda. 864-445-3434. And we also want to thank additional sponsorship this morning from Bailey & Son Music Company, 1045 Holly Fair Road in Leesville. 24-hour service, pool tables, jukeboxes, video games, and more. Commercial and residential sales and service there at Bailey & Son Music Company. Also, sponsored by Haney's Plumbing. Mason Hamey, 864-554-8179. When you got a leak, let Mason come and take a peek. And by the law office of Ralph Kennedy in Batesburg, Leesville. We care about your case. 803-532-4100. Well, let's check in on the guys this morning and see how everybody's doing. We're glad to see y'all this morning.
Yeah.
Brandon, how you doing this morning?
Doing good, Burton. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. And we had a wonderful game this past Friday night, didn't we?
Yes, sir. We did have a very good game. I was sad to see one of our star players go out with an injury. But other than that, they
sponsored by
Disconnected.
They regrouped and they pulled it out.
And have you heard any updates on how he's doing?
No, sir, I have not. I don't expect to see him this week, but I know the young man wants to get back out on the field pretty bad. But that his health is more important than playing this week. So I look for him not to be here maybe this week or next week, but that's just speculation.
And we're glad to see Jeffrey back. Jeffrey, how you doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, Bert. Doing good.
We missed you last week.
I missed y'all. We were off having a good time, but I really did miss y'all. And I was just telling Brandon, the house we stayed in had a theater room with a big projection screen.
Wow.
And I streamed the game to it, and I about fell in love with that thing. Yeah, old man could finally see and hear a little bit, so I really enjoyed it. So thank y'all for doing all these broadcasts, and I was at home away from home, so I really appreciate that.
Well, we certainly miss you. We're glad you're back this week. And we're glad to have with us Kurt Berry. Kurt, thank you for joining us on Salute Now.
Hey, good morning, Burton. Thanks for having me.
And we just wanted to bring you back. You did such an excellent job at our graduation. And people have been asking me, who is Kurt Berry? Tell them a little bit about your background, Kurt, starting with you going through Saluda High School and where you at today.
Yeah, speaking of the graduation, that was kind of an honor for me and something I thought about wanting to do for a while. I met the principal, Mr. Etheridge, a while back, and I was like, hey, if y'all ever want somebody for a pep rally or something, I'd be glad to speak, because it's just something I enjoy doing, Yeah, public speaking is a challenge, but it's also exciting for me. Anyways, how about you come speak at graduation? I'm like, well, that'll work. So that was just an honor. Yeah, like you said, I'm from Saluda. I grew up about 7 or 8 minutes from here, right off Ridge Spring Highway, and grew up on a farm there. And just grew up here my whole life, and graduated the high school in 2011. Was pretty involved with the FFA and animal science stuff. Having a farm, that's something I was passionate about. Ended up going to Clemson, getting a pre-veterinary medicine degree. And that kind of didn't shake out, which was, not a big deal. Started working for the cattle industry in Alabama for a year and absolutely loved it. At that point, I was glad I didn't go to vet school, just from several different reasons. But I think God was kind of pushing me down these different paths that I didn't know about at the time. So after that, came back, worked for Darryl Bazaar for a bit, and really enjoyed that. Learned a lot of good lessons from him, and then started a master's in agricultural education. Started my own fence company for a while, and then, I don't know, my 25th birthday, I was enjoying myself a little bit, and I was like, I've always wanted to fly. So I started looking up stuff online, and it's funny because the next day, I think there was like a mass email sent to Clemson about, hey, come meet the Marines. We'll be on the Library Bridge, and you can learn a little bit more about what we're about and what you have to offer us or what we have to offer you. And I swung by just out of curiosity and got the officer recruiter's phone number, and he's like, how about you swing by the office in Charlotte one day next week? I'm like, all right. It's supposed to be a 30-minute conversation. It turned to about a 3-hour conversation. He had me hooked. And from then on, that was pretty much it. So I ended up joining the Marine Corps in 2019 and following the aviation route. And currently I am stationed in Beaufort and learning to fly the F-35 Bravo. So kind of, there's a lot of different aviation platforms you can choose or get chosen from. And I was just blessed enough to get the fighter pipeline and fly pretty much the most technologically advanced aircraft out there right now, and it's an honor, and it's really cool. It's not something you can do forever, so just trying to soak it all up and enjoy it while I can.
That's great. And since you're on here, what would you encourage, like, young people that are going to Saluda High School to do in order to go in the military? How can they prepare themselves?
That's a great question, and part of it, I never imagined going in the military. My mind was set on, going to school and basically going to be a doctor and stuck in the books and everything. And then, looking back now, I wish I would have known more. I was kind of entrenched in the FFA and not necessarily ROTC or anything like that, and I didn't know much about it. My family wasn't military, except for my grandfather on my mom's side, and then I had a cousin who was in, but I never knew that much about it. Looking back now, I know how great of an opportunity it is. It's not just you're going out there and catching bullets or anything else. You learn so many leadership skills, whether you start at the bottom of the enlisted, you started as an officer after college, things like that. It builds you all these life skills, how to talk to people, eventually learning how to manage money. You learn some kind of skill set, whether, if you're an infantry Marine, it's not something that you can just come back home and do afterwards, but the skills you learn there is just absolutely unreal. It's kind of like at Clemson when I was studying pre-vet.
Connected.
Some of the classes I was taking, it's like, how is this going to help me as a veterinarian? Looking back, it was kind of the thought processes. So it's like, why do you have to take physics? Well, you're probably not going to use physics when you're working on a dog, but it's those channels that you're getting your brain to unlock to be able to work on those things down the road. Shannon Corley used to go to our church. He was in the National Guard for years, deployed a lot of times. I remember this. I was in high school. He said, Kurt, if you ever think about going in the military, if it crossed your mind, and you don't think about it, but it crosses your mind again, do it. He said, you won't regret it. And he'll probably never remember that he ever said that, but I remember it. And then looking back now, he's exactly right. So if it crosses your mind and you want to go serve your country, do it. The opportunities are like endless, whether it's the Navy, the Army, the Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, Space Force, whatever it is. There's a lot of options out there to expand your life and go serve your country.
And today is Star Trek Day. You didn't know that, did you?
Today's Star Trek Day?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, there we go.
By the way, what class did you graduate from?
I graduated 2011.
All right.
We were supposed to have a reunion this weekend, but it kind of, I guess most people were busy or didn't necessarily want to, have to pay to meet up together. But we'll probably try it in a couple of years and maybe do something low key at the park, grill hamburgers or something, just to see everybody.
There you go. And did you play football at Saluda?
I did play football at Saluda. I absolutely loved it. And,
who was your coach?
Wayne Bell was my head coach.
Okay.
And then Painter ended up senior year, but I had a blast. Football football and farming was life, until I was 18, and I missed it. Coach Young, he was one of my coaches as well.
Yeah.
I think at the time he was the DB coach and then
That's
the defensive
cool.
coordinator. And yeah, I've known him for a long time and have admired him for a long time. And his
Well,
leadership.
we're glad to have Kurt Berry with us. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this weekend's college football coming up, and we want you to make the pick. Pick the winning score, win $50 gift card from TimelessRoofingSC.com. Thank you for watching, everybody. It's time for Willie's Winners.
Good afternoon, Sports Junkies. I had a not so exciting weekend up in Charlotte, but not as bad as those kitty cats did up in Durham Monday. Well, I got my rear end handed to me this past week, going 3-5, and now 12-8 on the year. Since I've started doing this 5 years ago, I've never had a bad week like last week. But every goat has a bad week. Now it's time to get back up on that bull and ride again. This week's Willie's Lakeland's top 12. Number 12, Lawrence. Number 11, Dixie. Number 10, McCormick. Moving down 1. Number 9, Emerald. Moving up 1 to number 8, Calhoun Falls. Moving down 2 spots to number 7, 96. Staying at number 6, Ware Shoals. Moving up 2 spots to number 5, Greenwood Christian. Staying at number 4, Saluda. Number 3, again, is Greenwood. Number 2, again, is Clinton. And number 1, everybody's favorite, Abbeville. This week's games. West Oak at Ware Shoals. The Warriors make the trip down to legendary Regal Stadium to take on the Purple Hornets. These Hornets have had a week off to sharpen their stingers, and boy, will they be sharp. Willie's winner, Ware Shoals. Aiken at Clinton. Game starts at 19:30. That's 7:30 p.m. for you civilians. Game will be final by 20:30. That's 8:30 p.m. for you civilians. Willie's winner, Clinton, in a big way. Lawrence at Chapman. This game could work in the Raiders' favor because the Panthers of Chapman have a big showdown next week with the Red Devils of Clinton. This will be a practice game for Chapman. Willie's winner, Chapman. Liberty at Dixie. The Red Devils will have their pitchforks blazing as they come into the Hornets' nest in due west. These Green Hornets will get pitchforked around all night. Willie's winner, Liberty. Thornwell at McCormick. The Saints have given up 94 points total to Calhoun Falls the past 2 weeks. Well, McCormick might match that in one game. Willie's winner in a blowout, McCormick. Emerald at Saluda. The Vikings go back on the road this week to unfriendly Bettis Hurlong Stadium to try for their first win on the season against the Big Cats of Saluda, who are riding high after the dominant defeat of the Little Kitties of 96. This will be a little closer for the Tigers this week. They will sink the Viking ships anyway. Willie's winner, Saluda. West Side at Abbeville. The Rams coming off a big upset win last week over T.L. Hanna, making the short trip to Heights Stadium, hoping to continue their winning ways. But the Big Cats of Aville will have something to growl about that. But can the Panthers keep up their 2-game streak of winning within the last minute? Willie's winner, Abbeville. North Augusta at Greenwood. The pesky Yellow Jackets coming swarming into the Bab looking to ground the Eagles. But these big birds will have their talons and beaks too sharp. Willie's winner, Greenwood. High school game of the week, Buford Academy at Greenwood Christian. This will be a battle of who will be king of the skies as the Eagles come into town to try and ground the Hawks. After a high-flying battle, the little bird wins. Willie's winner, Greenwood Christian. College games of this week. Charleston Southern at Clemson. After being manhandled Monday night by the Blue Devils, the Tigers come into this game looking to hang the Bucks. This ain't Tom Brady's Bucks. Willie's winner, Clemson. Furman at South Carolina. This series is a lot closer than you might imagine. The Gamecocks lead it 28-20-1. Last time the Paladins tasted victory was in 1982. But if the Yardbirds don't play any better than last week, these Purple Paladins will defeat them. This will be closer than you think. Willie's winner, South Carolina. College game of the week, number 11 Texas at number 3 Alabama. Bevo looks to get back at these Pachyderms from last year's 2019 defeat in Austin. The Horns of Bevo will be running rapid throughout Bryant-Denny Stadium. Willie's winner, Texas. That's this week's games. As always, get out, support these young men on the field, the cheerleaders and the bands. Remember, it's only a game. It's time for me to roll on out of here. Get me on out of here, Thomas.
If your dream is a home out in the country, away from crowded neighborhoods, Ag South Mortgages can help you stop dreaming and start living. Call 844-AG-SOUTH. That's 844-AGSOUTH. Or visit agsouthfc.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 61978.
Aiken Electric Cooperative is to empower communities by providing reliable, competitively priced energy and other services
We all need to be able to count on our jobs, count on full-time hours and shift options, count on competitive pay, count on medical benefits and vacation pay, count on on-site job training, count on opportunities to grow into even higher paying jobs. Amick Farms is now hiring for all shifts in the food production industry. You can count on Amick Farms for a career. Visit amickfarms.com to apply today.
Berry Insurance Group offers auto, home, farm, commercial. Call Will Berry today, 803-307-0030. Visit us on our website, berryingroup.com, and talk to Will Berry about your insurance needs. And we're glad to be back here with you on the Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive, live from Punks TV and Jam. Call for a free quote, 803-853-0021. Quality and integrity never get old at Timeless Roofing. It's the Timeless Roofing. Thank you so much for joining us here on Saluda Now. And we're glad to be back with you with Brandon Warren, Jeffrey Jordan, and Kurt Berry has joined us today. And Kurt's going to be our celebrity picker just like on game day, Kurt. He's going to be our celebrity picker.
I like that. Good addition.
There we go. All right, the first game is really the biggest game on the card this week. Alabama, Texas at Alabama, where Alabama is a 7-point favorite there in the 7 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. All right, we'll start with our celebrity picker first.
Yeah, I love football. I don't have time to follow it like I'd like to.
Yeah.
And, I kind of wish that Texas could pull it out, but I think we're going to go with Alabama on this one.
All right, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I think Kirk's exactly right. Alabama's loaded, arguably the best coach in college football. But I'm going to go with Sarkisian comes up with something, and I think Texas is going to upset them. It's going to be a very close game, but Texas will upset them.
Brandon?
I think they're having some extracurricular activities on Alabama's team this year. I'm going to bet with my heart, not my pocketbook, but I'm going to go with Texas.
Okay. And even though they have an extracurricular activities, I think Alabama beats them handily there in Bryant-Denny Stadium. All right, now let's go to the next game, Notre Dame at NC State, and that is a 12 midday kickoff where the Fighting Irish are 7.5-point favorite over the Wolfpack. What you think, Kurt?
I think I'm going to go with NC State on this one. There's been I'd say a few upsets here in the ACC the past few weeks are kind of starting to show up a little bit, and I hope they do the rest of the season. You never know, but we'll go with NC State on this one.
Uh-huh.
Is that Dave Doran at NC State? Yeah, he normally has his guys really prepared for big games, and I'm pretty sure that he's been practicing for Notre Dame all summer. So I'm going to go with North Carolina State in the upset.
I think Notre Dame is just hanging in there right now, but I think they're going to come into North Carolina State and do what the prediction says, and I think it's going to be closer than the spread, but I think Notre Dame pulls it out.
Well, I'm going to have to side with Kurt and Jeffrey on this one because it's a 12 o'clock kickoff and the rain is supposed to move in a little bit after kickoff. Going to be some fumbling that favors the home team. NC State's going to upset the Irish.
I didn't watch the Weather Channel, too.
Oh, yeah. That's important.
He's asking
Burton's digging deep.
All right.
He done his research.
Okay, we got a look like a 6:30 kickoff. Pitt and Cincinnati. Pitt is favored by 7.5 point, Kurt.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Pitt on this. My neighbor across the street, he's in the Navy, a huge
really?
Pitt fan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You gonna rag him out about that game?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out.
I'm also going to go with Pitt. Yeah, I think Pitt pulls this out.
Yes, sir. Pitt as well.
All right, I think y'all right on that one. Okay, then we got Voltech. This is another midday kickoff, as they're going to be hosting Purdue, and they're 3 points favorite over Purdue.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Tech on this one, too.
Okay.
Might depend on how the weather is, because I know Virginia Tech can get a little swampy up there. Beautiful campus, if any of you have ever seen it.
I've been
Love
there.
the architecture. But I think Tech will come out on this one. Enter Sandman, I don't know if Purdue will be able to hang on with it.
Being at home, I think it's going to mean a whole lot in this game.